Welcome back. This is our video number 2. This is our second video. The first video we stopped till the PLO code and we were about to fill in the topics or chapters covered. Now we'll move on to our course specification and we will pick the topics. So, for my course I have Introduction to Short Story and Elements of Short Story. These two come under Describe Aspects and Elements of Short Story. So here my two chapters come under CLO 1. So let me go back to the Excel and write here Introduction to Short Story plus Elements. You can either type or if you want you can just copy paste. Now, so my first CLO goes with the two chapters. Then I have 5 stories: Gift of Magi, Selfish Giant, Story of an Hour, Cat in the Rain and Cask of Amontillado. So I have 5 stories. Now my CLO is recall specific details related to prescribed stories. So all the 5 stories will come under CLO 1.2. Analysis of stories. Here again I have to cover all 5 stories. Then demonstrate understanding to major characters, these symbols, relating them to the events and settings in stories. So from this I know that CLO 1.2, 2.1 and 2.2, all these cover all 5 prescribed stories. So here I will write 5 stories and I'll copy the same to my other 2 CLOs. Now my last CLO says that it is a reference skill to look up on internet for resources and prepare a qualitative assignment or project presentation. Now my assignment will be based on stories. So I will write 5 stories because my students will work up on a project or a presentation with any of the 5 stories. So these are the topics I have picked up. Now contact hours. What are the hours I am assigning? So first is chapter 1 and 2. Let me go and see how much I am assigning. 3 hours for chapter 1 and 9 hours for chapter 2. So the total time allotted will be 12 hours. Then for 5 stories. So here I have to see how much time I am going to give. So I have 3 CLOs for 5 stories. So let me see the time I am going to allot for my stories. Here are the stories. So basically I am going to give 6 hours each, right? So 6 5s are 30. So how many hours? That is 30. And how many CLOs I have? So what I am going to give, this 30 hours I am going to equally distribute between my CLOs. So 30 divided by 3 CLOs. So it will be 10 hours each. So I'll put 10, 10 and 10. Now it's 42. So my assignment, how much time I'm going to assign? The remaining time, 3 hours, I'm going to give it to my assignment. So now I got the contact hours 45. Now the weightage of marks. As here I have almost same hours given to all my CLOs. Now the basic aspects and elements of short stories, as this is knowledge based, I want to give a weightage of 20 marks. And then the next one, recall specific details prescribed for stories. As this is also knowledge based, I will give 20. The next is analysis of stories. The weightage will be 25. And again the analysis will be 25. This is understanding the major characters. So everything related to the story will be 25. And the last one is 10. So this is my weightage of marks. So why it's 100? Yes, that's what. 20, 20, 25, 25 and 10. So now I'm getting the weightage of 100 marks. Now how I will divide it in knowledge, skills and competencies. So basically I will allot here 20 marks for my knowledge, that is CLO 1. Then the next one is also related to recalling, the details of stories. So recalling again comes under knowledge, so I will be giving 20 marks. The next is analysis. My third course learning outcome is about analysis, so it will come under skill, because what knowledge I give them about the story, they will apply and analyze the story. So it will be 25. Now my fourth course learning outcome is demonstrate understanding to major characters, themes, symbols and all this. So again it comes under skills, so I will put 25. And the last one is the assignment, which my students will do independently, so that I will assign 10 marks. So the same marks here you have distributed among different domains. I hope I am clear here. The same marks I am giving here, I am distributing them under each domain. Now this distribution varies from course to course and from the CLO. The nature of my CLO here is knowledge, so I am putting it under the domain, knowledge domain. Here as it goes with skill, I am putting it under skill. As this assignment, creating an assignment independently using internet project, this comes under competency, so I am putting it here. So the marks what we have allotted here, we are distributing the same in our domains. Now let's move on to the next one. Now we know that we have distributed the marks according to domain. Now let us come and put our distribution in the methods of assessment. Now when I am planning, I will put my assessment. As in the course distribution we saw, at the beginning we saw that my quiz is 10 marks. So I would like to conduct my quiz on CLO 1, that is the introduction to stories. So I will put 10 marks for my quiz. Then in my midterm, I would like to cover the data for recalling stories, 10 marks, analysis, that is CLO 3, 5 marks, and the next 5 marks I would like to give to the elements, characters, symbols of the story. So here I will give 5 marks. So my CLO 1 I will give quiz. For my CLO 2, CLO 3, CLO 4 I will distribute it in the midterm exam. My CLO 5 is presentation or assignment, so that will be 10 marks. And now let's come to the final. See here I allotted 20, but I am giving a quiz only of 10. So what about the remaining 10 marks? The remaining 10 I will carry it to the final exam. Fine. So now you can see this 20 marks of knowledge I am dividing this 20 marks, 10 in my quiz and 10 in my final exam. Now let's move on to the next one. Here 20 marks of knowledge. I am covering 20 marks of knowledge in my midterm. What about the remaining 10 marks? I will cover it in my final, where I am going to ask students questions related to my stories. Then my skill is 25. 5 I am giving in my midterm. So I will focus the remaining 20 marks in my final. Same here. My CLO 4 is 25 marks. 5 I am putting it in my midterm. So the other 20 I will put in my final exam. So now let's see the total. Yes. We can see that my quiz is 10, my midterm is 20, my assignment is 10 and my final is 60. Now, once we have distributed the marks in our tools, okay, what we will do is these marks we will distribute among the subjective and objective questions. So now, first one, let's see our quiz. I want to put my quiz on the basic introduction and elements chapters, the first two. So what I will do, I will create a quiz as it is a knowledge quiz and it's the beginning for my students. It's the first assessment I will be conducting at the starting of the term after my 4 weeks. So what I will do, I will put five marks for fill in the blanks and 5 marks for MCQs. This is 10. What about the remaining 10? I can put true or false for 10 marks in my final exam. So now the count is 20. Fine. So this 20, it's going how? 10 quiz, 10 final exam. Now let's distribute CLO2. What I'm going to do with CLO2? I said I'm going to take 10 marks for midterm. Now my CLO2 can be 5 marks of match the following, 5 marks of true or false. This is I'll put in my midterm because here I will be asking them, my CLO2 is related to details about stories. So I can have match the following, true or false, that is 10 marks. What about final exam 10 marks? I can put 10 marks for fill in the blanks because see, I had selected CLO1 for true or false. So I can select CLO2 for fill in the blanks. So now the total here is 20. Same 20. This is the 20 we have distributed. Right? Now let's come to CLO3. Our CLO3 is 25 marks as we know. This 25 we have distributed 5 with midterm and 20 with final. So what can I do? 5 with midterm. This 5 with midterm, I can ask them a short note for 100 marks. The remaining 20 marks, I can distribute it in my final essay because analysis of stories, analysis of stories usually are essay type questions where they can critically analyze the stories on their own. Now, the next one, we come to the fourth CLO, which says about demonstrate understanding to characters, themes, symbols events, settings of the story. So here what I can do is I can, for midterm 5 marks, I can put short answers. Fine, with CLO 4, targeting CLO 4. And the remaining 20 marks, what I can do is I can put them in my final exam for short notes of 100 marks. Fine. That is, my students can here answer 4 questions with 100 words each. And here they can answer 2 questions with 200 words. So here this is analysis of story, and this is about characters, settings, all the details of the story. And the last one is our competencies. As we know, assignments are usually essay type. So I will put 10 under essay. It can be an essay. So students can come up even with a presentation. So I'll put here 10. So now you can see that our test specification table is ready. 45 hours, 100 marks. These are divided into different, and this is more important: quiz, midterm, assignment and final exam. The total coming to 100. So this is our test specification table which we created for my subject short story. We have aligned the course learning outcomes. We have filled in the course code with the chapters, teaching hours. We have allotted the weightage of marks, divided this marks with under different domains like knowledge, skill, competencies, and again we have further put these marks, weightage of marks, what we decided among our assessment types. That is, how many marks we will move with the quiz, with the midterm, final, and then we distributed these allotted marks under different question types: objective or subjective. I hope I was very clear, and this video will help you to get details. If you have any questions, you are free to contact me on my university email or on WhatsApp. I will be always pleased to help you and guide you. Thanks for listening. Goodbye, everyone.